I hear this and I immediately shake my head and say, no.
I would be shocked.
If this has any sort of momentum behind it.
For the first time in almost 20 years?
This just puts bait in the water to say, hey, pick up the phone and call.
Why the hell are we not talking about Urban Meyer coming back into coaching? But there are a lot of college football programs.
And proof he can win. Nick Saban could be back as a head coach on the sideline. That's what Greg McElroy has said on Jocks, the radio station with he hosts a morning show with Cole Kublik. Mm-hmm. Chad, so McElroy, former quarterback at Bama, said...
Who will also join us today, by the way.
Yeah,
Greg McElroy, yep.
Coming up in a few minutes here. He said that he spoke with somebody he's close with that has extremely deep ties to Alabama and someone he trusts. He said that person told him it wouldn't surprise them if Saban got back into coaching. Like if he got back on the sidelines. McElroy brought this up, and everyone's saying, really? Nick Saban wants to get back into coaching at the age of 73? Well, another coach who's not on the sideline is Urban Meyer, and he was asked this from Fox Sports Radio and Colin Cowherd.
I do think Nick would take a call about an NFL job. Do you, Urban?
I have not talked to him about this. I would guess, because I know him fairly well and competed against him, that it's not a little scratch. It's probably a pretty big scratch. That's the one area that he is not, I don't think he'd go back to college. I don't see that fit. I would say very little to no chance he would get involved in college, but I think he would take phone calls from the NFL.
Chad, if this has any sort of real momentum behind it, it's the reverse Bill Belichick, who's close with Nick Saban, and Belichick wanted to coach again, and he took a college job. The reverse Belichick for Saban would be to go back to the NFL and prove he can win instead of having, the 15-17 record that he had with the Miami Dolphins. But at 73 and the gig he has with College Game Day, I hear this and I immediately shake my head and say, no, it just doesn't feel like Saban's not getting back in coaching, is he? But I never would have predicted Belichick on the college football sideline.
Yeah, look, as unpredictable and as surprising as it was when Bill Belichick went to the college game, I would be even more surprised if Nick Saban at 73 decided to be an NFL head coach again for the first time in almost 20 years. It was the 2006 season was his final season, so it would be right at 20 years if he were to coach somebody next season that he was with the Miami Dolphins NFL. I would be shocked. 73 years old. Nick Saban's also not Aaron Rodgers. And what I mean by that is Aaron Rodgers loves having people talk about him, even if he acts like he doesn't. So he likes mystery. He likes people gossiping about him, thinking about what he's thinking, wondering where he is on vacation, wondering what NFL team he's going to play for. I think Aaron Rodgers sort of craves that spotlight and drama. Nick Saban doesn't do that. I would expect Nick Saban next time he speaks in an interview or on television to joke about this in a way or dispel these rumors completely and say that he's completely happy with his job now and he's not interested in coaching, because he's not the type of person just to let this hang out there for attention.
So I agree. I don't think he's back on the sideline next season. But this does let, if it's the NFL or any level, if it's college, this season, those in the process of trying to determine if they're going to move forward with their coach or, come Black Monday, are they getting rid of their coach in the NFL after the regular season? This kind of just puts bait in the water to say, hey, pick up the phone and call. Source this if you want to. Just by this report, I think we'll hear his name more during the regular season. And no matter if Saban says he's not going to coach again or not. Again, believe it when I see it, but that at least tells NFL owners, hey, maybe he's looking for that. I was surprised when Belichick didn't get a call for the NFL. I don't see Saban coaching college after his legacy of 6 national titles at Bama, 7 total.
He can only go down with his college legacy.
He won nearly 90% of his games coached.
Yeah, and he's not going to coach at Alabama again. Right. So wherever he coaches, it's only going to bring that legacy down a little bit more. There's no reason to coach in college. I understand, as Urban Meyer put it, scratching that itch if it's there for the NFL. But Hutton's 73 years old.
I know.
I'm thinking, what NFL team?
Well, so
now next year, 74, you're going to hire a 74-year-old head coach to come in that hasn't done it in 20 years.
Let's be honest, though. We were surprised when Saban actually pulled the plug on his career. We had, Clay called in, and we had a solid coverage of the day he retired. We discussing this in years past. We take calls and be like, well, when Saban's gone, that's when all the other teams can get back in the SEC. And it was always, well, I believe you take Joe Pa. You know how this goes. Lifers. College football lifers, and whenever they're not in the game, many of them just their life's work is complete.
Bear Bryant and Joe Pa are two examples.
Yes. And you want to get back in it. I think it's more than an itch. It's your passion. And Saban's at some points, I'm watching Saban on game day, and he's like, you have the coaches on set. Saban's been like, man, I'll kick this guy's ass if I was coaching against him right now.
No doubt.
And other than Kirby Smart. We're starting to see some younger coaches try to take a step forward. But Saban would, if he's coaching right now at Bama, we know what would be happening. And the other part of this, Chad, what does this do to dispel anything at Bama with Kalen DeBoer? Because Saban has an office at Bryant-Denny Stadium.
Yep.
And we discussed last year what the vibe would be for the coach who would replace Nick Saban, knowing that Saban's still like, there's still like a fog of Saban in Tuscaloosa. There will be. I mean, he's got an office on campus. Tony Barnhart will discuss that coming up later in today's show. What's the vibe? It's always been like there's really no it's not like he's overseen anything. But now that you know he wants to get back to coaching, and we know DeBoer's definitely on the hot seat because it's Alabama, that's another discussion.
Well, remember when Bob Stoops was just like he had an office at Oklahoma or did something? He came in and coached like a bowl game.
Yes.
When they needed an interim, right? Came back and did that. I could see a scenario where if things got bad, maybe not this year, next year for Kalen DeBoer, and Nick Saban's in town, that he would be the interim coach, that he would agree to leave College game day and go coach the Crimson Tide in the month of November and into a bowl game. And then you always have the possibility that they go on a run when he does that. And it's like, hey, this feels pretty good. Why don't you come back in your mid-70s and just pick right up coaching the Crimson Tide?
But the fact that Tony Barnhart's in his office last week, and Saban's at the office. You know what I mean? Like, he's going to work, quote unquote. Like, that's intriguing because he's still doing something around the game. And when it's not exactly what he was doing, he's not in full control of a program, he wants to do something. The NFL makes sense only because there's a reason to try to prove something. And that would be the reverse Bill Belichick. But Belichick wanted to coach in the NFL too.
Yeah.
And Saban got out of college football because it was becoming the NFL model. Because all of the transfer portal. And I mean, he mentioned that.
Yeah.
So why would he want to go back to college after being 2 years removed from the processes of wanting to leave?
So here's my other follow-up question to this. The guy making the quote about Nick Saban. Why the hell are we not talking about Urban Meyer coming back into coaching? He's 61 years old. He's 12 years younger than both Bill Belichick and Nick Saban.
I think because he's made it. Notre Dame was open and he didn't go.
Yeah, I don't know that Notre Dame. I really think they wanted to give Marcus Freeman that job.
But what I'm saying is, there have been jobs where he's always been linked.
I believe that if he's not going to go to anyone that's not a national championship winner in the last 15 years, right? Like it's going to be a program that has proven they can win national titles, and he's going to take that job if it opens up. But I'm not so sure that we haven't, that we've seen the end of him coaching. That he could take another college job at some point. He's not going to coach the NFL because of how much of a disaster that was in Jacksonville. But he could coach in college again.
Maybe we don't discuss it because we've already seen it, where he steps down due to health reasons and he jumps right back in.
I mean, how many college football fans would trade their coach for Urban Meyer right now?
I mean,
95% of them?
Based on results.
85%?
I mean, there's not many.
We're talking a high percentage. Like, there are some that's like, no, I'm happy with this young coach that we have. But there are a lot of college football programs that would gladly. You think Auburn would trade Hugh Freeze right now for Urban Meyer to be their head coach?
Any program at a high level after one loss, the fans will be thinking that.
Yeah.
They'll be abandoned ship.
You think Arkansas would trade? Hey, here's a good one for you. Would LSU trade Brian Kelly for Urban Meyer straight up right now?
Yes.
No questions asked.
Yes, because you've got a coach. You've been gaining a coach who's won a national title.
Yeah.
And you currently employ a coach who hasn't, even though Ed O has.
And you would be employing that person at a school that won a national title with Nick Saban, with Les Miles, and with Ed Orgeron. And now Urban Meyer would be the next.
Yeah.
Because that was the assumption, and Brian Kelly still may win a title there, but the assumption was, all right, now he's going to win his national title, right? If Coach O could do it, Brian Kelly's going to eventually win a national title at LSU.
And LSU wasn't good enough for LSU with Ed Orgeron. Because they won a title, and then what? A year and a half
later,
removed?
it got bad.
Here's the other part of Saban, and why you would want Saban back in college coaching. Sabanomics. The changes on the University of Alabama when Saban got there in 2007 to when he retired, and just the state of Alabama. In enrollment alone, they went from 25,000 students to 40,000 students. Right now, Alabama has more out-of-state tuition and students for freshmen coming in than they do in-state. 5,000 to 3,000 was the last report, and that was from 2023. Think about the money that's being churned based on out-of-state tuition. They have the lodging. Everyone's going to Tuscaloosa because you want to see them play. You want to see your team play the national title winner. The Sabanomics of things is tremendous on that university. That's why Clay has said this, and we've said this too. But he's been underpaid for his value for the state of Alabama. It's not like they wanted him to step down and retire. I wouldn't feel great if I'm the head coach at Alabama, period, anyone other than Saban. And this is why coaches turned down the job. You didn't want to be the guy that followed Saban. And maybe could Saban follow the guy who followed him? Maybe for a short amount of time. DeBoer, I think, is going to be fine.
I don't. By the way,
I'm trying to plant that seed. There is an awkwardness to it because the dude, Saban's going to work. He's going to his office
he's in
at
the
football stadium.
Yeah. He's actually separate of the football facility where all the activity happens, but he's in the stadium. Yeah.
Yeah.
Hutton, the more I think about college pay and how much everybody makes, is I don't have a problem with the coaches making as much as they do to coach the team because the value of a big-time college football program on campus, it's the buyouts that bother me.
I hate them.
Yeah, like if you're going to pay someone $12 million and they're worth it, okay, great, but then they don't get a buyout, too, when they start to suck.
Well, we said, let's see, Mark Stoops, his buyout is like $40 million. $40 million plus this season. That's ridiculous.
He was 4-8 a year ago.
I've said if at least if it's going to be ridiculous, make it even.
$44 million is his current buyout.
$44 million buyout.
Gosh.
At least make it even on these contracts. If another school were to hire him, Chad, would it be anywhere close to $10 million? Probably $5 million for another school to buy out the contract of Mark Stoops. I'm curious on that. But it's so whack. It's wacky. It's stupid. And they're complaining about budgets.
His salary is over $9 million a year, too.
And he doesn't. They may have adjusted this. If he wins 7 games or more, he always got an extra year. Mm-hmm. He's got basically a lifetime contract in Kentucky to win.
It's hard to understand the motivation at that point if you're Mark Stoops.
Well,
right? Like I look at him now and I'm thinking, you don't want to be. You want to win. You're a competitor. You don't want to be deemed a failure at the end of your career. But other than that, you're going to get paid $44 million if things don't go well with Zach Calzada this year and they decide to make a move. Great.
But
not a bad gig for Mark Stoops.
But when they were, we've seen them do it. They can play at a higher level than what we've seen recently. When they were surprising their opponents, or I would compare them to what Vanderbilt did last year. There was a short amount of time where Kentucky was a football school, and Calipari was the head coach, and they were bickering back and forth about who was going to get what on the money. At least, the motivation was there. Stoops was also, mentioning that about the football school stuff. I say all that. I think the great coaches want to remain at that level. They're driven by that and their legacy. Chad, I do wonder, the person that was talking with McElroy, the legacy factor of Saban and the NFL. But the control, 73 years old, who's hiring him? I guess it depends on who's firing their coach next year. But he's definitely put bait in the water. Maybe
I don't know why an NFL team would want that right now. And that's acknowledging that Nick Saban is the greatest college coach of all time. But it's 73 years old.
That's not the trend.
It would be 74. I don't know why you want to start something with someone that's 74 years old. That, did not do that well in the NFL the first go-around. Sure, a lot of extenuating circumstances, a lot of things that Nick Saban would have wanted to be different in his first go-around, but did not do that well.
The Raiders are an example because Pete Carroll's the same age as Belichick and Saban. He's the oldest coach in the NFL. But the trend,
he's also been coaching, throughout in the NFL recently.
No doubt. But the trend is young. I mean, the trend is hire a coach in his 30s and give him the reins and try to catch the momentum of what they're doing as an offensive or defensive coordinator. Same thing really with general manager now. An example would be in Jacksonville, where 10 years after the guy graduates high school, he's now a general manager, not high school, graduates college and goes to coach at a high school level. 10 years after that, because he touches the cloak of Sean McVay, he is now a general manager for the Jacksonville Jaguars. The trend is not 73.
No.
And Vegas is going that way because he's agreed to do 1 year? So, yeah, Saban, be quite the story, man.
Not seeing it.
By the way, I love him on game day. I don't want him to leave game day.
No.
He and McAfee are exceptional together, and I hope it stays that way.
Hey, speaking of game day, we talked about the ESPYs yesterday.
Yeah.
That's one good thing they did. They had a nice send-off for Lee Corso at the ESPYs.
Yeah.
Where
I saw that clip
Saban
yesterday.
was the only one that wasn't present, but Herb Street, Desmond Howard, and Pat McAfee all said some great things about Lee Corso, and they brought him out, and Lee Corso said a few words, and they talked about the first game of the season being his final broadcast. Pretty cool.
Yeah, it is. It's momentous. It's the flag, plant the flag at the end of a career, and what it means for our lifetime as a sports fan and watching College Game Day.
And I think his legacy is, we were talking yesterday about people not being able to take themselves lightly and being self-serious.
Yeah.
Sarah Spain not taking the joke about the WNBA and everything else. To me, the legacy of Lee Corso is the dude just lived to make people laugh and smile, and he never took himself too seriously. He was fine being the butt of the joke. He'd be the clown on the show, right?
He would be
I'll be your clown. I'll be whatever you need on the broadcast. And I thought Herb Street saying one of the great things that he told me right off the start when he started at College Game Day was, our job is to entertain, and college football just happens to be our vehicle.
That's great.
To entertain people. And that's Lee Corso in a nutshell. That's what he was.
Think about this too, Chad. He didn't take himself too seriously, but we took his pick seriously every game day.
Yeah.
Who did Corso pick? At the very end. It was entertaining, and I really feel like Saban and McAfee are entertaining too. By the way, the average age of coaches this upcoming season in the NFL is 47 years old. You have Mike McDonald, who's the youngest, at 37, and Pete Carroll, the oldest, at 73. Just for what that's worth. Send-off for Corso was solid. The send-off for Lloyd Howell, the executive director of the NFL Players Association.
The unceremonious send-off of Lloyd Howell.
The resignation that everyone knew was coming. Well, it's happened. And, of course, it was Pablo Torre who showed documents of and proof that you've got Lloyd Howell, who's the executive director for the players, agreeing with the NFL to keep things under wraps and confidential on a judge's ruling for collusion, which is ridiculous. I mean, it pisses everyone off if you're a player that you have your leader doing that with the NFL. And then it comes out that he's on the board for the Carlyle Group, who's been approved as a firm for minority ownership to buy a stake in the NFL team and NFL franchise. What conflict of interest? Absolutely. And then, Chad, you were telling me there's a little strip club involved.
This guy's up to a lot of shit. Let's put it that way. All right, he lives in a luxury condominium in Miami that offers a service where you park in a garage and an elevator brings your car to you.
Wow.
So it's got every car in the middle. It brings it to your apartment.
It's like Carvana.
And your condo, yeah, and then it takes you back down and you go. So you don't have to go downstairs.
Yeah.
The car actually comes up to you. He was involved in, I think, some sexual discrimination issues at his previous firm. He got in trouble for a lavish trip to a Manhattan strip club at his previous firm also. And the guy he took with him got fired.
Wow.
One of his colleagues did, but he survived that. And now we find out that Lloyd Howell Jr. flew into Fort Lauderdale, had a car service that was paid for by the union for $738. He took the car service to the Tootsie's Gentlemen's Club, Tootsie's Cabaret. Hutton Tootsie's Cabaret fashions itself as the world's largest strip club at 76,000 square feet, full nude, #1 rated. This dude had the car parked there. He lives close by. Had the car parked there from 11 p.m. to 6 a.m. 7 hours he spent in that strip club and then left. There was also a lavish trip to, I don't know how lavish it is. I don't know what the going rate at strip clubs is today, but $2,426 worth at Magic City Strip Club in Atlanta. This is the trip to Atlanta, $2,426.
Okay.
A bunch of cash withdrawals ranging from $200 to $525. Gee, I wonder what that was for.
Right.
Maybe the 2 VIP rooms that were used. And when he filed this on an expense report, Hutton, the purpose of the strip club outing, he wrote as, quote, player engagement event to support and grow our union.
Player engagement.
There was growth. There was growth.
Was a buffet.
There was growth.
Was there a buffet?
That's for sure.
At Tootsie's Cabaret, I wonder.
Maybe he just wanted to make it to breakfast.
There were over 300 sexy full nude entertainers daily at Tootsie's Cabaret, according to their website here.
Yeah. Again, in that trip, maybe they have a breakfast buffet, Hutton. He just wanted to stick around for that. He was he was famished after his long flight.
What did Pac-Man Jones once tell the media?
You want to go eat?
Going to a strip club, because
I got to eat somewhere.
Got to eat somewhere. Got to have lunch somewhere. Great buffet.
I love that Pac-Man Jones' understanding of restaurants is that only strip clubs serve food.
Think about.
I don't know what you guys want from me. I got to eat. I'm in a foreign place. I come to the city. I find the nearest strip club and go eat.
I mean, okay. So if you're hungry, think about just the baseline of what this. You know what? Let's go grab some food. You want to
go to the strip club?
You want to go to Deja Vu for their world famous chicken wings? Chad, I'm looking at the appetizers here for Tootsie's Cabaret.
Tootsie's Cabaret serves a mean burger.
Grilled kebabs, 2 marinated skewers grilled with peppers and onions, served with a side of garlic aioli. Your choice of chicken or shrimp. You can add chicken for $4 on that. The total cost is $20 there. You have quesadillas, chicken fingers, loaded nachos. I mean, it's like going to a ball game.
This is just incredible stuff.
Yeah, they just sit down and enjoy the game.
Yeah.
Cheeseburger sliders.
Nacho. Do they bring a baseball helmet to you and put nachos in them or ice cream?
Yeah, maybe it's a
Miami Marlins helmet.
Maybe it's a. You've got maybe it's a chastity belt. It comes out your nachos come out in a chastity belt.
I would call Colin into this conversation, who lived in South Florida, but I don't want to get him in trouble. So we'll abstain from asking him about it.
Thumbs up or thumbs down if you've heard of Tootsie's Cabaret. Oh, he's been there.
Thumbs up on the grilled shrimp kebabs. Yeah, thumbs up on the kebabs.
Hey, what about the rib combo served with 2 sides?
Is the aioli sauce as good as they claim on the website?
You can also get a scoop of ice cream.
For
$4.
So I just got the best lap dance of my life. You know what would really polish that off? A scoop of ice cream is what I'll have after.
Yeah.
Thank you.
VIP package is available here.
Not a vodka soda. Just get a scoop of ice cream.
Single bottle package here. Premium bottle service for $575, Chad.
So
basic mixers comes with that. Complimentary admission up to 4.
This is all very, very funny. But Lloyd Howell could be in a lot of trouble because there are federal labor laws that are violated here the federal, they're very strict when it comes to a union's expenses and reimbursements because that is money that is paid in dues for protection of employees, right, with a union.
Yep.
So obviously the government is going to have sirens going off when you have $800 for a car service to a strip club that you're trying to get reimbursed.
What else has been happening?
Right.
Chad, I just want to point out, no slippers, no house slippers are allowed in Tootsie's Cabaret.
When I see something like that, I think to myself, boy, there really must have been a house slipper problem at some point to have to list that. And then I think, who's wearing their bath slippers to the strip club? Was that Colin also? Colin, do you like to wear slippers to the strip club?
No house slippers available. And no rude, vulgar, or offensive clothing.
Colin's like, I'm more of a Tiva sandal type guy.
No
to the strip
rude,
club.
vulgar, or offensive clothing, but you take the clothing off fully nude.
Colin wants full exposure of his toes while at the strip club. You got to let those things breathe.
Hey, well manicured, this Colin. Someone's going to ask today, like, how was the show? What did you do today? Well, I went to Tootsie's Cabaret's website.
Yeah, what's this for? It's research for the show.
Yeah, it absolutely is.
I promise.
You can shop at Tootsie's Cabaret
Grilled
as well.
kebabs.
On the way out, you have to go through the gift shop. I wonder if that was
That
spent
would be
money on.
like a stark eye-opener when you're like entering a strip club and you have to go through like a really bright gift shop just to get in after so you pay the cover.
One of the packages.
Wouldn't
Chad,
that make anybody really rethink, what they're doing? Like, okay, now we're walking through this bright. It's like an operating room.
Yeah, where am I? The Masters?
Yeah, when you're walking through.
The groom at
They
Tootsie's.
get you coming and going, Hutton.
Yeah, they do. The groom at Tootsie's ball and chain party. That's one of their package available. Yeah.
Well,
yeah,
Lloyd Howell's a big
some
fan.
of the
So you can
shirts
tell us
are,
all about it.
Are quite nice. You could wear their clothing though. Yeah, so think about this. The NFL players are being represented by Lloyd Howell. You have quarterbacks coming up. By the way, also factor it. This is going on while running backs are complaining that their salaries are being tanked on purpose. They were saying that NFL owners were colluding then, not with just all guaranteed contracts for quarterbacks, but Chad, the NFL running backs were complaining about this. They had a little conference call. Remember they got on the speakerphone with each other? Nothing, or Zoom, nothing came of that. This guy is serving on a board for the Carlisle Group that's been approved for the ability to buy minority ownership in an NFL franchise. It's like, do you think that the players would want Jerry Jones representing them as the NFLPA's executive director? No.
Yeah.
And how did this happen? Like, what about the NFL side of things with the collusion? You have so many media partners. This is a good example of the media partnerships with the league and how it's about Lloyd Howell. No one's mentioning Goodell's end of it at all. So they also knew that this was confidential. Now, Lloyd Howell signed off on it. They may not even hire his replacement until next offseason after the Super Bowl.
It's a mess.
It is. Greg McElroy.
Not a mess.
No. We've got McElroy and Tony Barnhart and that film guy, Brooks Austin, joining us next on Not Mine.